Hey, what's up, fam? So the Feds finally did cut interest rates by 50 bips. It was a surprise to many, although it was 60% probable that they would do it. Ever since the markets have rallied, today S&P rose by about 1.5% greater than that, and Bitcoin's also rallied. Now, I posted a video about MicroStrategy, and I have another chart to show you, which proves why MicroStrategy is one of the best plays that you have into in Bitcoin. So, if you're not buying into the Bitcoin BTFs, this video is for you, and follow along. So let's looking at the Bitcoin price action over here today. It opened around 61.5, went all the way up to 63.9, settled, or right now it's trading around 62.9, so very close to 63. So very bullish still. Um, Almost sort of the one at the 1 p.m. mark, it was around that 63.1, which means that there are more buyers than sellers, and it's a bullish end overall to the day, although Bitcoin trades on a 24-hour basis. Um, the next price hurdle for Bitcoin seems to be around a 65.5 mark, and if it clears that, it can clear all the way up to 70 or even 74, even past that, depending on how the elections, you know black climate landscape goes. If it's Trump versus Harris, I feel like it'll rally even more. Even if it is Harris, I feel like it's still got a fairly good chance, but Trump gives it just to that little bit of extra oomph which is required. um, I want to show you, though, the play that you can make into Bitcoin if you're not buying Bitcoin ETFs or you're not doing options on Bitcoin ETFs, because just buying and selling Bitcoin can be very expensive because of the transaction fees. I go by what it is, what they call as the Sharpe ratio. Sharpe ratio measures how the ratio of returns versus the standard deviation of a particular security. In Over the 1 year time frame, MicroStrategy has been, well, first of all, MicroStrategy and Coin. So I want to compare MicroStrategy and Coin because they're the two of the most heavily correlated securities to Bitcoin. 0.95 and 0.96 are very strong correlations. They're, in terms of standard deviation, they're sort of also comparable. MicroStrategy is a little bit more volatile than Coin, although not so much more. 0.97 versus 0.74, and on a daily basis. And then on a return basis, though, over the 1 year time frame, MicroStrategy has given investors 300% plus returns, whereas Coin has given investors 100 plus returns. So my Sharpe ratio is 3x, which tells me that for that volatility, if I can handle that volatility, there's more to gain from MicroStrategy. And therefore I maintain my view on MicroStrategy being one of the strongest plays for Bitcoin. And so if you see this chart over here, which then compares the ratio versus Bitcoin, because you don't want to buy MicroStrategy when Bitcoin's an all-time high, because MicroStrategy already has the pump from a ratio perspective as well. So there's not a whole lot of upside left for you other than Bitcoin probably going even higher. But at these times when my Bitcoin's not at an all-time high, even in the year, it provides a great alternative for you to get into Bitcoin through MicroStrategy. And as you can see from a ratio perspective, they're sort of both in the sort of the 25, sub 25, between the 20 to 30, sub 25 range. Although Coin's ratio to Bitcoin has really started to give gains away. MicroStrategy has definitely managed to hold gains, and I feel at some point it's going to overtake Coin. So therefore, I think MicroStrategy, if you can handle the volatility, it gives you the stability, given the fact that Bitcoin does not completely underperform. And therefore, I think MicroStrategy is still the best game in town to get into Bitcoin. And those that the earlier video, where I explained how you can what you should do, get into MicroStrategy, and then either directly go into Bitcoin if you think that there's more room for Bitcoin to run, or hold the gains and then wait for that buyback dip in Bitcoin and then get into Bitcoin. So have fun trading Bitcoin. I feel like it's a great time to get into it, just given the fact that the Feds have cut interest rates by 50 bips and risk assets are definitely in play.